Hello and welcome. Let's find the longest word in a string with freeCodeCamp JavaScript algorithms. Let's take a look at the problem. We are going to return the length of the longest word in the provided sentence, and it should be a number. So let's take a look at how we can do that. I've got some pre-code written here, but that's just my style. I like to have an output, and then I just return that output, and I can put anything in between to make it happen. So we're going to talk first always about how we're going to do this. So walking through this real quick, what we need to do is, let's say, split the string into an array of words, split string, and then we will check lengths of strings, call them words, and then compare and save the longest one. Okay, so simple enough. Let's do this. Let words equals string.split on white space, and then we're going to loop across the words. It's just like this, words.length I++. So what we're going to do here is we'll just loop across that array, and remember, arrays are zero indexed, so we have to do it one less than words.length, otherwise we'll get an error. And then we'll just say let just length equal words I.length, and if length is greater than our current output, we will just say that output now needs to equal length. And then that should return the right thing. So that's one way to do it. The other way is that we could do this with an array map function. So instead, once we've gotten this down to words, what we can do is we can say let word lengths equals words.map. Okay, what map does is it takes in a function and then passes that function the current value, and then returns something from that function. So we're going to use an arrow function here and just say w for word dot length. And what this will do is build us an array that looks something like this. So for that sample sentence there, it'd be 3, 5, 5, 3, and so on. And that's what our array will look like. Then what we can do is we can just pass that to and say, we'll just do output equals math.max, and then we want to pass in an array here, or rather, we got comma separated values, so we can't just pass in the array to math.max, so we'll use array destructuring to do this. Word lengths. And then now output will equal 6, and I'll get the right thing out. Of course, then we can refactor this because that's a lot of extra lines of code. You could leave it like this for readability if you wanted to, but what we can also do is we can just return this value, return this, and then now that's going to return the right thing. I can just get rid of that. My console.log here won't work, but that's okay. I think at this point I figured it out. And then instead of doing word lengths here, I can simply put this right there and then get rid of this line. And then if I really wanted to, I can make this a single line of code and just take string.split and then do the map on that, and then that would be sufficient as well. And then I wouldn't even need this output variable, and that would work nicely. Now, lastly, I did want to share with you a fun way to do this. Make it so that, and let's not use all the built-in functions, because you would end up using less memory if we don't use all that. Let's go ahead and play with this a little bit, and let's say we're going to keep track of this, and what we'll do is we will just iterate across the string itself as if it was an array, and we'll look at each character and we'll ask, is this white space? If it is, then we're at the end of a word and we can go ahead and count it. Also, if we're at the end of the sentence here in this string, then we know that we're at the end of a word as well, and we can say, okay, cool, that was a word. Is that longer than the previous longest word? Save that, and then go about our business. So I'm just going to go ahead and make another variable here called current length, and we'll keep track of where we're at. And then we'll say for let I equal I less than string dot length I plus plus. And then what we'll do is we'll set aside a couple of variables here. We'll say is white space equal to a white space. So is this character equal to white space? And then is it the last character? Like this here. If it's the last character, then it will be the string.length minus 1 because of the 0 index. And then if it's not white space, what we'll do is we will add 1 to the current length, and then we will go ahead and check to see if it was white space or it was the end. Then we'll go ahead and check against we'll go ahead and check against the length here. So if, one sec, there we go. If is white space or is the end, then what we want to do is say there's two possibilities. If current length is greater than the output, then the output will equal current length. Okay, and then no matter what, we want to reset current length because we got to the end of a word. Then we can return output. Okay, there we go. Just needed to make sure to set current length to 0 to reset it. And then if I go ahead and jump back out here and we run the tests, we will see that that works. And that's actually going to end up being it's going to end up being faster due to memory management. We only have to do one quick sweep across it, and then we've made our decision about what the longest word was. So there's a few different ways to do that. I hope you managed to learn something. I had fun. Thanks for watching. Bye.